What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Got Next podcast. I'm your host, Mitchell Baldwin. My co-host, Dono.
Yes, sir.
And today's going to be an NBA episode, so of course we had to get Adam Flanagan on today. How you feeling today, Adam?
What's up, everybody? I'm good, man.
All right, so today on the Got Next podcast, we'll be talking about the LA Lakers, the currently ninth in the West LA Lakers, and why they are struggling so bad, what each of us think the problem is for the team, and one solution that we would give if we were a part of the team. So I hope you guys like the video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that type of stuff. Show some support to the channel. And yeah, let's get into it.
You ready, Playboy?
Yo, turn it up, Sly. I can't hear nothing.
Let's talk about some Lakers, man. I'm actually excited about this.
Man.
Coming into the season, you know, they picked up Russell Westbrook. You know, they really thought that was gonna fix some things, and it just obviously hasn't. They are 16 and 18 as of right now, as we speak. They are ninth in the league. I mean, ninth in the Western Conference, excuse me. And so, all right, so we're probably just gonna go around and each person just give a reason as to why they think the Lakers are where they are today. So, without further ado, Dono, you can go ahead and start, my guy. How are you feeling about the Lakers, man?
The problem is simple. It's chemistry. That's all it is. It's chemistry. I mean, have they had a consistent lineup all year long? Like, I think every starting lineup they had has been a different lineup, either due to injuries, COVID, people just in and out of the lineup. So it's just chemistry and a small portion of Anthony Davis not being that guy, but it's mainly chemistry. Like, you know, it's in basketball, chemistry is the ultimate thing. Football, you could just plug and play players, and you know, as long as you got great coaching and some solid stars, you all right. But basketball, chemistry is like the ultimate thing in order to win. And the Lakers just have no chemistry. And they may be 16 and 18, but when you think about it, they're still 2-3 games behind like the 4th or 5th seed. So get everybody back together, get everybody healthy. They'll move into the top 4 without a doubt.
Okay, so listening to that, you believe that it's fixable?
Yeah, okay. It's definitely fixable because they have nobody knows their roles because no lineups are set. Once people's roles get more defined and everybody knows, like, all right, he's going to get these type of minutes, he's going to be 6 man, he's doing this, he's doing that. It becomes easy. Nobody knows really what their role is right now. Besides Melo, I feel like, and LeBron, of course, and those have been like the 2 most consistent players on that team so far this year, Melo and LeBron.
Interesting point. Adam, how do you feel about the season? What do you think the number one issue is for these Lakers?
It's tough, man. It's hard because I don't think there is a number one issue. I think it's just like there's issue 1, issue 2, issue 3, and it's just like it's the team as a whole. As Dono touched on, rotations are horrible. There's times where the Lakers got Rajon Rondo and Russell Westbrook at the 1 and the 2. Now, if we really want to put that in perspective, who does that help on that court? Like, yeah, we got some vision now, we got some playmakers, but who's shooting that ball out of those 2?
Literally playing a triangle and 2 on offense.
Exactly.
3 on 5. 2 niggas can't shoot right there, bro.
Exactly. Like Rondo has what Rondo's got a mid range. We can all agree to that. But like, he's not stepping out. He's not stepping out beyond that. Russell's definitely not stepping out beyond that. He's shooting 30% from 3 this season. It's like it might be closest to his best like shooting season from beyond the arc, but it's still like I don't want the ball in Russell Westbrook's hand behind that arc as like a pure shooter. We don't need that. Like it comes down to coaching. It comes down to, like Dono said, their chemistry is, and I don't understand how the chemistry is so bad. You know, we have all these guys that have been playing in the league together and against each other for years now. You know what I mean? So it's like, especially LeBron and Melo, like they were drafted together. They've been playing against each other for 19 seasons now, going on 20. It's like,
I do want to.
Melo's been balling.
Yeah. Now, see, the issue is not Melo or LeBron, so I don't want to bring it to that.
I think it's more so the guys like, not to cut you off, like Horton Tucker. Like one night he'll have 20, the next night he'll have 8. Malik Monk has been solid too, but I feel like Ariza still needs to get back into the flow. None hasn't played yet this year. Yeah. Like nobody really, like DeAndre Jordan, he'll play one night, they won't play 5 games. Same with Bazemore. Like nobody really knows what they're doing.
And I think the hardest thing that we did this offseason, and I say we, I'm a Lakers fan. I got my cup, you know, my all that good
We
stuff. But
saw
it's
the
like
cup guy.
the hardest thing is that like during this offseason, we went on a name killing spree. We picked up all of the names that we could have in free agency. Like all the names that you wanted to see on a team together, we almost got all those names together. But the problem with that is all those egos come with it. You know what I mean? Like Malik Monk coming off, he was in Charlotte, right?
Yeah.
Being like a decent role player with them, you know, like doing his thing. But like at the same time, I know he always thought in Charlotte that he should have had more minutes. He should have had a bigger role, so on and so forth. You know, we all know Westbrook's ego. He still thinks, and you know, it's taken me to this season to really see that it's like Westbrook doesn't have it, man. He don't got like he's playing too fast. He's doing everything way too fast, and he's been doing that for the past 5 years. You know, and I just think that our biggest problem right now is all the egos that we have on this team. They're not meshing. The chemistry's not there. We're not making the right rotations. You know, and it's just, again, as Dono pointed out, like there's not a drop of chemistry on that court where there very much should be. So I think that's my point on, you know, where our problems are. So Mitch, if you want to take it away from that.
I'm ready to go in, dog. I really am. I think this is probably the first time in my life where like everybody is kind of like just coming together and hating on Russell Westbrook at the same time, and it feels great. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro, because I was 10 years ahead of this. You know, I saw this years ago. It's like when you really think the number one issue, though, I am going to talk about the Lakers, though. The number one issue, I think, with the Lakers is what Adam said. There is no number one issue. It's a lot of different issues that all together comes to it being an unsuccessful team. First of all, let's talk about defense. They are 27th in the league defensively. Just went up against the Spurs the other night. DeJounte Murray shoots like 4 for 13, right? Their best player has a horrible night. They give up 138 points to the Spurs. First half, they give up 66, and they're like, yes, this is good. I'll raise you 77 in the next half. And that's exactly what happens. 60 and 70 points in 2 halves. So that's your first issue is defense. Second of all, you got bad free throw shooters all on the same team at once. You got Russell Westbrook, who shoots about 60%. You got LeBron, who shoots around 60, 70%. You got AD, who used to be a good free throw shooter, but like, again, he's not playing that well this year. As we all know, he's shooting probably about 60, 70%. So altogether, you got bad free throw team. You got a bad defensive team right there. It's 2 things right there off the top. Next, we got turnovers. We all know that Russ averages 5 turnovers. He's leading the league in turnovers right now, running away with the lead, actually, as he's 22 turnovers ahead of James Harden as of right now. And so that's 3 things right there. Next, we could talk about the roster, which, I mean, you were talking about how they went on a name spree, which I definitely agree with, but I don't think that there was a need to go on a name spree because they already won a championship. And that's the thing that's probably the thing that I've taken away probably the most from the Lakers is that they move too much and like they don't have enough patience with stuff. Like, because I mean, even at this point, the team that they have right now, like on paper and the way that they're like playing, it really doesn't seem like they're going to be much better than the 2018 Lakers that we saw with Lonzo and Brandon Ingram and all of them. And they moved all of them out in like 1 year basically. And you see what those players are doing now. It's like if they would have kept them, they would have had a solid squad, honestly. And it's like, I don't know. It's so many different things. We're going to get to Russell Westbrook clearly later, but I think the roster is probably a big thing for me. You got Russell Westbrook, who I just don't think fits with this team. All things like, you know, I don't like Russell Westbrook. Everybody knows this, but like all things aside, he just doesn't fit with this team. Like even when they won a championship already, they already had like the stuff that Russell Westbrook brings. They had good rebounding. They had what is it, like pace and stuff like that, like good defense. Like they already had those things. They didn't need anything else from Russell Westbrook. So I didn't really understand that pickup. Taylor Horton Tucker, while a lot of people like him, I think he's way too young for this team personally. And Dono, you talked about how inconsistent he is. And he gets like 20 some nights, 8 some other nights. It seems like his efficiency and like how he plays really like is determined on how much he gets the ball in certain games. Because I think he's an on-ball player at this point. I really don't think he's a good off-the-ball player. He's not a good shooter. And, like, he needs the ball to be able to create for himself. And he's not going to get the ball that much on the Lakers anyway. So it's like – and Are they like expecting him to peak in the next year or two? Like he's only 21 years old at this point. It's like I don't really know when they're expecting him to peak exactly, and like when they're what they're keeping him for.
I think they're expecting the same thing that they were expecting out of Brandon Ingram, as you touched on with that 2018 team. It's like we have that's the most frustrating thing. Actually, I think is that it's when we had that 2018 team. All those players, Lonzo, Brandon Ingram, Julius Randle, they weren't established yet. You know what I mean? Like they weren't to their full potential.
Right.
That's the most frustrating thing with this team is that we have all these players. They're pretty much at their ceilings, I think. You know what I mean? Like LeBron is LeBron James. You know, he's gonna it wouldn't surprise me if he gets better. You know, I don't think it would surprise anybody. Russell Westbrook, I think he peaked. I think he peaked on the Thunder. Mm-hmm. Malik Monk, like how much better is he really going to get? Carmelo, same thing. Like he plays his role well, but it's like how much better is he going to get at that? But that's just for example. Like we have all these players and they're established. They made a name for themselves. Like at a certain point, but at the same time, like we also have DeAndre Jordan. Nobody's talking about that.
He gets too much.
We have all these. That's the most frustrating thing is that they're just not playing to what their names are. When you think Westbrook, again, everyone hates him. It's hard to like him, but it's like at the same time, like you know how hard and Kat said this. You know how hard it is to average a triple-double, let alone to get a triple-double in this league? He plays his ass off. He really does. He just plays too fast. But at the same time, it's just not – it doesn't work for him. There's no way that he can change his game to make him better as a player. I think either way, if he plays slower, he's bad. If he plays quick, he's bad. He's getting all these stats, but it doesn't matter. It's just, I think, and just like kind of go back to the THT point, is like, I think they're just expecting him to, like you said, just flourish now. But at the same time, like being around all these vets and all these established names, I think that is the best thing for him. You know, because like he can get all this knowledge. He can get knowledge from Carmelo from going to a superstar to not even being on a team for a couple years. You know, he can get the knowledge from Westbrook from going and averaging a triple-double, having an MVP season, to everyone hating it. You know, he's getting a lot of knowledge and getting like a lot of good knowledge from like players in this league that, have been through the woodwork, so to speak. So I think that's their main goal for him right now. But as Steve and Dono said, like the inconsistency part of it isn't going to help. Like if he can get this real world knowledge from them, but if he can't get this playing knowledge and being on a team where it's all just inconsistent and frustrating and like just like a tornado of just bad ball playing, it's not going to help him either.
I feel like the inconsistency though, that's like it also ties into coaching. Like you said, coaching is also a major factor into this because you can't have lineups with like.
They're doing the same thing the Wizards were doing when they had what was it Neto and
exactly.
Whoever else, like bro, they're running 3-guard lineups essentially, and they're letting LeBron run.
Exactly, like their lineup combinations just aren't really making that much sense right now. You can't at any point ever, like even the common fan like us, like people that just watch basketball, bro, we even know you can't have Westbrook and Rondo on the court at the same time. Like what are you really gaining from that?
It's a recipe for disaster. Like it doesn't like, I don't see how like even LeBron isn't stepping in and just being like, yo, like we're having two like just pure point guards playing the 1 and 2. What, like how does that help anybody when we need shooting?
Even with DeAndre Jordan, for example, like I feel like they want him to be like that JaVale McGee type of guy, and he's not. Like JaVale McGee, although he's a bonehead and he'll do stupid stuff, he's quick, he's athletic. Like he was a part of 3 championship teams for a reason. He plays defense, he rebounds, he dunks the ball. That's literally all the Lakers need from a center, and DeAndre Jordan barely can dunk the ball like he used to with the Clippers. Like this man literally can't even switch out on the wing, do any of that stuff. JaVale McGee did all of that stuff, and he's still doing it for the Phoenix Suns, coming off the bench. Like that's literally all they needed. And DeAndre Jordan can do that. Like they have players trying to play roles that they can't exactly play either. And I feel like that ties into coaching. That definitely ties into coaching. Like Kent Bazemore, for example, shouldn't sniff the court. Shouldn't even sniff the court. The man, he can't guard me, bruh. He can't even shoot. Like the Lakers need three-point shooters and defenders. Bazemore decent defensively, but can he shoot? No.
But
Like I would take Stanley Johnson over Bazemore.
Yeah,
Way better defender.
I agree.
But coming into the season, it's like we already knew what the Lakers needed, and like going and get. I just don't understand how you need 3-and-D guys. You need guys to complement AD and LeBron, and you go and pick up Russell Westbrook. What does he bring as far as 3-and-D and being complimentary that he's ever brought before? He's not a complimentary player. Like we just saw it with James Harden. That's his best friend. That is his man. They've been playing since they were kids. James Harden he saw that stuff in one playoff series and was like, I'm done with this guy. One playoff run. And he was gone. And it's like, bruh, while Russell Westbrook's not the problem, he's definitely not a part of the solution. I don't see the point, bro. I don't get it. I really don't get it. And I loved your point, Adam, about how like looking at the team, looking at the roster, I don't see anybody who's really gonna improve very much over these next few years for the future. Like maybe Malik Monk, but like maybe we've also seen Malik Monk's ceiling at this point. And maybe Taylor Horton Tucker, but at the same time, it's like the team, like you're clearly seeing a difference in LeBron's play and like his physical play, bro. He's clearly not the same guy that we saw a few years ago. We know this.
He looks unmotivated.
I don't even think it's that. I think he's very motivated.
I would say that he's still been putting up like 30.
I think he's very motivated. He can't carry the team.
But that's just LeBron though. Like LeBron could wake up tomorrow and hate basketball. He's still gonna put up. Now he's a freak. Like he's a freak of an athlete. He's gifted with the sport. I think with like seeing how all these struggles have been over the past 2 seasons, it's like if I was him, bro, I'm 36. There was that sequence with the Spurs game the other night where he got the rebound, dribbled up the court himself. Nobody got back on offense.
Yeah.
He was playing 5 versus 1. You know how unmotivated I would be. And like I'm not gonna speak for him. And like you guys said, it's LeBron. He's going to do this, but at the same time, like if you just watch his demeanor, even when he's sitting on the bench, bro, he looks like he's just so fed up with the whole process of like even trying to, will this like super team to another championship, especially if they're not going to try to help themselves.
I agree. I think it's just because we've seen this before, though. Like we've seen that LeBron before, when he sits at the bench. He sits at the end of the bench and just sulks. Like, but I mean, I don't think it's anything about his motivation. I would never question LeBron. I would never question James' motivation. I think that he's definitely motivated. He knows right now, and like we're all seeing it. He can't be Superman no more, bro. Like he needs people to help him out. Like he can't go out there and have a great game. Everybody else sucks on the team and they still win. You know what I'm saying? That's not gonna happen anymore. He's too old. And like players are too young at this point.
Balance for that now too.
Yeah, and it's like I know you're seeing it, bro. Like they're losing, like not even losing, but they're playing close games against like the Spurs, the Pistons. You know what I'm saying? These are young teams. These are teams that have young legs. So it's like no matter all that skill and all of that, like they're gonna be faster. They're gonna be just more willing to do stuff because they're young. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know, but like let's go around and just talk about one thing that like you think that like one solution basically for how to fix their season right now. So Dono, you can start off.
One solution, it's not really a solution for chemistry in my opinion. That's just people getting healthy. COVID is just something that's, we're all living in right now. So you can't really say, no COVID, but I just feel like they just need to get a health, and I feel like they need to find a more balanced rotation. When Anthony Davis comes back, hopefully he's 100%. They just need to figure out like who's our starting 5, and then when we go to the bench, who are guys that are without a doubt playing every night. I feel like that Malik Monk has to play every night. Melo, of course, has to play every night.
Dwight Howard need to be playing every night.
Yeah, Dwight Howard needs to play every night. DeAndre, 2 people that shouldn't touch the court at all this season: DeAndre Jordan, Kim Bazemore. They're out of it. Rondo, some nights I would throw Rondo in there just to keep him fresh, just in case. When none of the Ariza are fully healthy and back, I feel like those are 2 guys that without a doubt have to play. And if they keep Stanley Johnson, he without a doubt has to play. You saw how he played on Christmas. So I feel like just getting a set rotation and getting everybody's role defined, I feel like they'll be okay. There's not really anything you can do about Westbrook. He is who he is. He's going to continue to not really have a great IQ. We already knew that.
We knew that. We did.
So, I mean, as usual, it's just going to be on LeBron. So,
all right, Adam, what's your solution?
It's just I think the biggest solution is to try to find like alternatives, like start doing that now, like before this trade deadline, even gets starting to get talked about. I think it's hard to say, but I think if we can find something for Westbrook, then we need to do it now. Do I think that's actually what's going to happen? No, I think he's going to ride out the season with us, and then over the summer we're going to try to, look to shop him. But at the same time, it's hard to even think about a solution because there's so many just like bad points in that organization right now. Like, I mean, we can go from trying to get Anthony Davis a shooting coach. You know, he's shooting 17% from three.
Yeah.
17. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and yeah, he's a big man, whatever. But like, this is by far his lowest shooting percentage ever from behind the arc.
I feel like that's
like,
I feel like it's mental, not to cut you off, but I feel like it's mental. No. As much as he cooked online and on TV, just about like everything, it's just in his head now. But you should know when you play with LeBron, like this is what comes with it. Like you're gonna get
being a champion, just being a champion in itself. You know what I'm saying? He's a champion now. He has a ring on that finger. He shouldn't have to have these like, you know, mental health is a big thing in the league. You know, Kevin Love is touching on it a lot more. He's bringing it to light, but at the same time, like you shouldn't really have stuff like this getting in your head as much if you're a champion. I feel like, and I could be wrong with that. You know, I've never played in the NBA. I've never played college. I don't know what that pressure's like. But at the same time, it's just like there's just so many bad parts of that organization right now. It's almost just starting from the bottom again. I'm not saying dumpster fire the team. I'm not saying, you know, trade Anthony Davis, trade everybody, and just get a whole new squad in there, because obviously that's not what helps, because we've done that over the past 3 seasons and almost every time besides that championship season. And, you know, a big part of that was COVID. We had there's a lot of people that opted out of that season that like probably could have changed the course of us even getting into the finals like that. So who knows, you know, and that's hard to say as a Lakers fan. You know, I could come on here and just like rant about how good we are and we're a championship team, we're a championship caliber. We're 9th in the West.
Yeah.
There's like there's no time to think. We need to just start doing. We need to get to the bottom of it now. There needs to be as many team meetings as there can be. You know, LeBron needs to go back to that LeBron in Miami where he's in the middle of the huddle just screaming. Like, even if he's not even saying anything that makes sense, like just screaming, trying to get inside like these like THT and Malik Monk, get in their head and be like, yo, we need you guys. You know, especially Austin Reeves. Nobody talks about him. Austin Reeves should be on the court a lot more than he is. A lot more.
Yes.
You know, oh, does he?
Yeah.
But even if before that, he played in, I think he's only played in 5-6 games this year, and like actual like not just garbage minutes. You know what I mean? Like the kid can shoot. That's what we need.
He's played a lot of fourth quarter minutes for them though. He has. He's been.
Yeah, he's played clutch minutes. Yeah,
he's
been getting out.
Yeah, it's just I just think he should be out there more than he should. He should be like a Duncan Robinson role almost.
Oh man, I wouldn't say that. Duncan Robinson.
You don't think so?
Duncan Robinson different, bro. Austin Reeves not shooting 40% from 3. I tell you that.
I think he could. I think if he had the bump and I think if he had the time, I think he could.
He's a better defender than Duncan Robinson too.
I think he can do it very consistent.
He's a better defender than Duncan Robinson.
Oh yeah, definitely. Duncan Robinson is definitely improved in that area. But I mean, this is a different conversation.
Different top. Yeah, different.
I'm just saying, as far as like not his ceiling, but like that's what Austin Reeves I think could be. Like especially like going back and watching his highlights in college, the kid's a dog. Okay. Like he could be not starting, but like not just those fourth quarter minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like even in just the clutch, he should at least be on that court getting warmed up in the second, third, late in the fourth, like he has been. You know, I think we should have even brought up Mac McClung from our G League roster. Dono, me and you watched that kid 4 or 5 games in his college career as a Hoyer. Like the kid can play and he plays hard.
Sure, yeah.
You know, he's almost like he's not as good as like an Alex Caruso, but like he plays like it. Like he's gonna give every single minute that he gets on that court, he's gonna play like it.
Yeah.
So it's almost like I said, just like I think my solution is just like starting from the bottom, building our way up, and just trying to figure out like what point A, point B, point C, like what can we just like fix in every single one of those aspects. Starting from like even the front office, you know, maybe there's like drama in there, fix it.
My solution is gonna be just accountability. That's what I'm gonna say. Accountability, I think, is gonna be my number one thing, and I'm gonna start with the front office. First of all, you can never and should never allow your players to run your organization. I don't care. Like, I know LeBron is good. I know LeBron is great, actually, legendary. But it's like, you can't let a player do your job for you at the end of the day. I understand suggestions. I understand, like, I don't know, like maybe getting a few extra guys on the roster that like maybe I didn't like or something like that. And like, I'm just taking your word for it because you're LeBron James. But it's like, you should not be completely like constructing a roster. And we can clearly see that that's what's going on here. And it's like it seems like all the people that they had are just bad, man. Like, and they're not there anymore, bro. Alex Caruso is such a valuable player. I don't know how you get rid of Alex Caruso last season. I really don't know how you let him walk. Like, for real, that man is 6'5", can guard 94 feet, shot 40% from the 3-point line, had great chemistry with LeBron James. Why would you get rid of him ever? Like, for any reason, bro. So it's like that. Like, you got to be accountable for the roster. I think somebody needs to get in Russell Westbrook's face and let him know that he needs to play better. That quote that came out from him talking about the people expect me to average 25, 15, and 15. That's not what we expect from you, bro. We're asking you to just limit your turnovers, bro. That's it. That's all we asked you to do. Limit your turnovers and be smart in the clutch. He didn't even address that. He was like,
just be a point guard.
Bro, like be a better point guard. But he was like, people want me to average a triple-double for the rest of my career. He's like, of course I did that for 5 years. Like, bro, this man, y'all are 9th in the West, and this man is flexing about his past. Like, bro, I want to know how bad you played in the game. I want you to take accountability for the way you played your last game and be like, look, I'm going to limit my turnovers. I'm going to be better. It's me. You know what I'm saying? But he literally flat out came out and was like, I'm playing fine. When literally he went 4 for 20 the other night and then didn't even do an interview after the game because he knows he didn't play good, bro. But it's like he just refuses to take accountability. And it's like everybody sits there after the press conferences and they be like, yeah, like we just want to let Russ be Russ. And it's like, bro, you can't keep saying that. At a certain point, Russ being Russ is not good enough. You know what I'm saying? Somebody got to get in that man's face and let him know what his role is on the team. Because for real, I don't think that, like Dono said, I don't think people know their roles really. I think that, and that's like a big thing with this team. And like that's a big part of getting stars on your team. Like it's kind of hard to have those conversations and be like, look, I need you to not do so much of this and do more of this. It's hard to like do that when you got somebody like Russell Westbrook, like at his stature. But you can look at Alex Caruso and be like, look, I need you to do this, this, and that. He's gonna do that because that, like, he knows that's his part on the team. That's what he's supposed to do. So I think it's literally just holding people accountable and just being able to look at people and be like, look, you're not doing your job. I need you to do this instead. But like, and I don't know. It just seems like they're not able to get in each other's faces and hold each other accountable. And that's the team that's going to be able to win a championship for real. That's why you got Chris Paul, people like Chris Paul, like leading their team to success. Because look, if Chris Paul is going to do anything on the team, he's going to tell you what you're doing wrong and what he needs from you. And he's going to be clear about that from day one. That's what you know about Chris Paul. And that's why a lot of people don't like Chris Paul. But hey, honestly, they would have made the finals if he didn't get injured with James Harden that one year. And they would have beat the Warriors with KD. Like, bro, Chris Paul's a winner, bro. And that's the thing. You got to know, like, when to hold people accountable and, like, just be able to say it's my fault and, like, I'm going to change it. And, like, I'm not seeing a lot of that on this team. It's a lot of finger pointing. It's a lot of injuries and all this other stuff. It's a lot of Kendrick Nunn's going to save us when he gets back. Let me tell you, bro, as a Miami Heat fan, a lot of people keep saying that Kendrick Nunn is going to be this guy on the Lakers. He's not. I can tell you right now, that man is inconsistent as hell. He's not a point guard. And he shoots like a decent amount from three, a decent percentage, but he's nothing game changing. He's not a game changer. That doesn't need to be like somebody you guys are looking forward to save your season type shit. So, yeah. But is there anything else anybody wants to add here?
Nah, I think it's hard. It's just like you said with that quote from like Westbrook. It's like, what do you say? He was like,
I got so much from that quote. There's so much I got from
it. I did too. It's like, I did that for 5 years. Who asked you to?
No one is expecting that from you, bro. That's not what we're asking of you.
Like, again, like, yes, you're on a dying Thunder team, but nobody asked you to, like, be this, like, stat chasing, like, oh, I'm average triple. Nobody asked you to. I think he did that because I think later in his career, he kind of knew. He was like, shit, there might be a time in my career where it's like, I'm not going to be playing too good, and I can just use that as reference every single time.
That's literally his identity. That's how he identifies himself in the NBA. It's literally because all the people that were hyping him up over those years, like, yeah, go get your triple doubles. He's averaging a triple double though. When you bring up him leading the NBA in turnovers 4 years, like, bro, people just be like, yeah, but the triple doubles though, and it's like that. It don't matter when you're trying to really win. You know what I'm saying? It's okay when you're on the Thunder and you're the best team on the Thunder, or you're on the Wizards and you're like the star point guard on the Wizards. You know what I'm saying? But the Lakers is a whole different thing, bro. You can't come in there expecting that, like, literally expecting to only average triple doubles and it's gonna be successful. Like, you gotta play smart, and that's the thing. Everybody be like, yo, Westbrook play like he plays hard. He's gonna give you 100%. But sometimes we don't need 100%, bro. Sometimes we need 80%, or we need you to just slow the ball down and hold it at the end of the game and not run to the paint, jump in the paint in front of somebody, and then be like, oh, I don't know where to go with the ball. He does it all the time. It's insane. I hate when he does that. Yeah, bro. It's like literally just hold people accountable for the Lakers. That's my whole thing. Everybody just be accountable. Like everybody knows it's LeBron James' team, and Anthony Davis is gonna be the second guy. But it's like Rush, you can't want to always make the home run play. Like it's LeBron's team. You gotta let him do what he wants to do. Let him be best at facilitating and making the best play. That's what he does. Well, that's gonna do it for this edition of the Got Next podcast. It's kind of more conversational, you know what I'm saying? So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Make sure you give us some feedback on that. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that type of stuff. And NFL playoffs coming up soon, man. I hope you're all ready to talk about some of that. But other
Browns
than that,
coming back
this week. Peace. What'd you just say?
Browns coming back. Just know.
All right, we're gonna end it on that one, guys.